Okay, so to begin our structural detailing, right now I've already opened the file that was exported from Prota Structure. So this is our exported file from Prota Structure into Autocad. As you can see right now that this is the structural beam detailing that was detailed by Prota Structure. Now you can see that a lot of work are to be done here, because if you print this directly from this place without doing any other settings, without touching the layers and also doing a proper detail, you can see that product structure brought there are some things that are not necessary, but because it is an automated software, it gives you your drawing and most things are not right here, which you have to touch and also to remove before you now do your proper detailing. And can see also there are some things that are not okay which came with the software. So it is now your right as an engineer to now begin the structural detailing fully. So once you open the exported file from structural detailing, you copy all the structural details that was exported from Prota Structure. So you copy it, right click, and then you say copy. I'll be using shortcuts along this line, but for now, let me just show you how to copy. So you copy this all the detail that came with you from Prota Structure. Now, once you're copy, just escape. Then there, on this template, this is called Stonebridge Company. You can see it here. Stonebridge Company Structural Detailing Template. Now, this template is owned by a company called Stonebridge. Now, the reason for this template is because this template was mainly built for Prota Structure and for Tekla Structure and for Rivet Structure. Now, what happens is that if you print directly this exported file from Prota Structure, you will not have your structural drawing presented very well. As you can see it right here, you have much work to do. Now, once you copy this structural detailing done for you by Prota Structure into this template, automatically these templates will arrange and will give you a proper detail layer and a proper detail settings, which will be good after printing. Now, you all know that I've already copied this drawing right now from Prota Structure exported file. I'll now open this Stonebridge company template, and then I'll just right click and then click on clipboard to paste it just now. So once I click on paste just now, let's wait. Okay, once I now click to paste, automatically it will take some time, like some seconds, to set the proper detailing for you. Now, this template right now is done. Now you can see right now that it has automated all the layers for you, which will be good for presentation. If you also look at this, also it has done some work for you, which it has almost done 80% of work for you. Now, if you look also at the beam, you can see that the beam looks very different from what was here before. This was the one that came from Prota Structure, and this is the one that Stonebridge Company templates have just automated for you, as you can see it right here. And also, if you check on this back sheet right now, it also gives you a proper size of A3 size paper and a well detailed, which all you do is to change the name of your client. Just change the name of your client right here and input your own client's name, and also change the logo. If you have your own logo, you just remove the logo and paste your own logo in here. But for now, we will be using the Stonebridge logo. And also you can change the project name. You can change this and also input yours. So right now, we go back to our model view to now begin our structural detailing just now. So right now, to get these templates, you will see the link down below. It's not expensive. It is just $5. Last year, this software was sold for $10 to $15. That was when I bought it. And I must tell you, it have perfectly reduced the stress I used to have in structural detailing by 80%. Okay, and you will see that just now when we get started. So you will get this link down below. If you want, you can buy this link from the Stonebridge company. It's just $5. Or if you don't want also, you can just begin to work from this exported file. But I tell you, it will take you a lot of work. If this will take you 2 weeks or 5 days or 10 days to finish this, let me assume it will take you 10 days to finish this right here. But with this Stonebridge template, it can take you just 10 hours to finish the slab detailing, the beam layout, the foundation detailing, and everything, and present it for printing just like this. You can present it for printing just like this, and within 10 hours, what will take you 10 days will only take you 10 hours to perform the structural detailing here in Stonebridge company templates. So our advice, you just buy it if you have the money. But if you don't have the money, you can also go back to this place and begin to use this. And whenever you have the money to buy this template, which is just $5, you can now buy it and begin to use it. This video is always here for you. Okay, so right now, what we will begin to do right now is to perform this first floor layout, to arrange it how it is meant to be, and also put it in this template for printing. So I will say you should pay proper attention. I will take my time. I will not be a bit fast so that you flow with me one after the other. So right now, I will copy this first floor, this story one beam and column layout, which is here, and then I will also copy the beam because I want to perform the beam, and I want to put the beam also in template for printing. So I copy these two, and I'll just move it, not copy, I'll move it directly to a region somewhere here. And then what I'll just do right now is to now create another rectangle for this. So right now, we want to now start performing or start presenting this beam and column layout for the first floor, how it will look like after printing. Okay, so the first thing right now to do is to identify your staircase area, because staircase area is always a void. So right now, this is my staircase area. So what I'll do right now, I'll click on this layer and then go to hidden detail. You have Stonebridge, you see STB, okay, STB hidden detail. I'll just activate the layer and then click on line to show this staircase as a void. So I'll just click on this right now, show this as a void, escape, just repeat again and show this as a void. So this is a symbol of void, as we all know. And then also we click on this again because this staircase is like a two-way staircase. They have staircase on that direction and also a staircase on this direction. So right now I have identified my staircase so that when we'll be doing the slab detailing for this floor, we will not mistakenly go and put in slab on this staircase area. So right now, this is the only void that we have on this structure. And mind you, this is a two-story building. As you all know, we have the story one and also we have story two and then the roof beam. Okay, so right now, story one layout, story two layout, and then the roof beam and column layout, and then the foundation layout. But right now, we are beginning from story one layout to also arrange the story one beam detail. Okay, so right now, the first thing I'll do, I don't like the color of this. This template Stonebridge has a perfect color for this. So right now, I'll just click on this right now. Once I click on this, one of them, next thing I'll do, I'll just right click and say select similar. Automatically, it will select all these dimensions. You can see that both on this other way, select it, and then you will now type CH. I type CH and then I go to my dimension style on this dialog box. Dimension style here, I just click first. When I click, I'll click on this civil 50. So when I click on this civil 50, it will try to select to change the layer to civil 50. I come back again on this dimension layout, click on it, and go back to beam and click on beam dimension style. Now, automatically, this change, or you can see the changes now is already done. You can see the changes are perfectly done. Next now, I'll just click on close and click on escape. Now, I'll be a bit fast so that I can save more time for this, for the length of this video. So you can see that there is a change right now. You can see there's a change on the dimension of this right now. If you look at your previous one that was exported from Prota Structure, you can see that this is how it looks like, which if you print this, you will not be able to read this, or you will not be able to see it because it will be very dark. So right now, if you look at this right now, there's a change which makes this very lighter, as you can see right now. But on this side right now, it is not light, it is very dense, which if you print this, your structural presentation will not look nice. So that is why I would advise you to get this template if you can. Because if you don't have this template, it will take you much time to now start to be changing this one after the other, and which will take a lot of time. So if you have the money, $5, you can get this template from Stonebridge link, which is just on the description down below. Okay, so right now you can see how we have just changed this perfectly, and all other ones has been changed, as you can see it right now. That is the magic that this template can do. Okay, so right now we go right now in this place right now. Once we go here right now, the first thing we're going to do right now is to start numbering this beam. Now, you can see that Prota Structure numbers your beam span by span, but a pure and a good global standard of structural detailing, we number, if it's, as I can see that this is a continuous beam, we number this beam at a stretch. Either we'll call this beam 1, and this one beam 2, and this beam 3, and this beam 4, and this beam 5. And also continue again beam 6, beam 7. But you can see that you can see that this already is already at beam 80 and beam 24, which is not nice. It will very it will be very confusing during the construction for the reader. So right now we will begin our structural detailing right now, and we are beginning from the foundation, from the first floor layout. Okay, so on this place right now, the first thing you do right now is to copy one of these beam, or just go right now. You already have a template for this. That's why you need this template. You go to a previous sample of what you have right here. You can see right now there is a sample for you. So you just click on one of these sample, copy this, right? Just copy it down to your own right now. This is our own just here, and then paste it just close by right here. Now, once you paste it right now, you call this is already called beam 1. Next thing you do right now is to confirm your beam dimension. On this one, this is 225 by 450, and the same, you just change it. If your own is different, you can change it, but on this case, it's 225 by 450 dimensional beam. So right now, I will now go and just do this right now. Go on this place and paste this. Open my O snap and paste this just here. I will change this color for the moment so that it not interfere with the ones we have here. So I'll change this to red so that I will know that this is my beam, is the one I am numbering. So I'll just place this here. Then first, before I begin again, we have to remove all this slab spanning direction, because I don't like this in my structural detailing. So I'll click on this right now, on one of them, right click and say select similar. Now automatically it takes everything. I'll just right click, I'll just click on E. The E means erase, and click enter. Then again, I click on this place again, right click and say select similar, and then click on E, which means erase, and press enter. Now I will now go to my template just here. I'll go to a sample on this template, and then click, just copy one of these right now. You can see the slab right now. Copy one of these just now, copy it down to um, this place that we are working on, and then paste this inside here. Now, once I paste this right now, you can see what I'm pasting right now. I paste this right now on this place. Now, this simply tells me that the slab that is here has a depth of 150 by that 150 millimeter depth of slab thickness. So I'll just copy this right now and begin to paste it. I like to paste at everywhere which I have slab instead of using that spanning direction. So I just paste it and paste on this place. And then I'll just be fast to paste that and paste and paste this here. And there's a slab here, I paste this inside here. Also a slab here, I paste this here and I paste this here. And then also I paste this inside this place. And then this is a staircase, don't do anything here because this is a void. So I paste this also at this point, and I paste this also at this point. And then on this place right now, first we have to confirm the height of this. So just click on this, right click, just click on it and say ch and say enter. Then right now I go and click the height. This height is very big for me because of the scale that we are using. If you look at this place, I want to use a template scale of 1:100. So I'll just go right now, and my text font is, my text height is 1.5. So I'll just click on this right now. I can also go and I want to use a scale of 1:50. So if I'm using a scale of 1:50 right now, so that means if my text height is 1.5 to 2 millimeter, so let me take a 2 millimeter. So my text height now, I'll just do calculator QC and click enter. And then what I'll do right now is to now do 50, which is my scale factor, multiplied by my text height, which is 2. So this is 100. So all my text font height must be 100. So I'll click on this, right click and say similar. Now it takes all the similar. I'll now to ch, which means property, and I'll say enter. So right now, I'll go right now on this place just now. I'll go directly on the text height, can see right now, and I'll type here 100. And I'll click, and I'll just click outside. Automatically, this reduces, you can see there, it reduces all the text height, making it a well and good for presentation. Okay, so I now go right now and begin to copy again. I copy this right now and begin to paste it where I want to paste it, where they have slabs. So this also there is a slab here. I paste it here and also here and also this point and also here. So this place. Okay, also there is also a slab here, and then we also have a vertical one. Okay, there's a slab on this one also, and also a slab here. Okay, so right now we also have a slab at this point. So I'll just click on this, paste this here, click on this, rotate this, which using I will rotate this right now, and then copy, move this right now inside this place. Okay, so right now I have already shown that all these places which have this slab thickness is have slabs. While this place is a staircase, which is a void showing as a staircase. Okay, so right now I have already called this beam as beam 1. So I'll click on this right now, copy this, then I will check if they have uniform depth. And see, this is also a 450 beam from down to the end, 450 beam. So I'll go here and then paste this just here right now. And then I will go again and change this right now and call this 2, beam 2. Then I'll also click right now again to go again and paste this just here, and then go and paste this just here. I'll change this first to beam 3. So this will be beam 3, and this will be now be for me beam 4. Okay, this is beam 4, and then I copy this again. Don't forget, you must check if they have the same height, because most times this beam might be different from this beam because of the load it is carrying. So you must check if they have different size, just change the size for that one. So I go again and name this beam 5, and then I change this to beam 5. And to be fast, I'll just paste them after. I will now make the changes of the name. So to be fast, I'll just copy and paste this. This will now be beam 6, and this will now be beam 7. Okay, so I change this right now to beam 6, and then this will now be beam 7. At the end of everything, we are going to delete this. So all only this one will now be left. And also this column, we also change this column numbering to how we want it to look like. Okay, so right now, first of all, what I'll do is to hide this column numbering. Then later, I'll now bring it back. So I'll click on this right now. And since I already have a copy, okay, I'll just make a copy of this to use it as a reference to paste my column numbering back. So I want to make this thing look more neat. So I'll just click on this, right click and say similar. Now, before we delete, when you say similar, I've also selected this also as similar. So I'll hold shift and highlight this to now deselect the columns of this because I need the columns of these to number this column perfectly. Why this still remains, or I'll just delete this right now and click on erase. So right now you can see what we have just gotten just now. So right now this is my bin 1, bin 2, this is my bin 3, all here is my bin 3, and all this is bin 4, and all this is bin 5, and this all 3 is bin 6, and this all 3 is bin 7, and I copy this right now to finish my horizontal bin naming. This will now be bin 8. So I paste this here and change this to bin 8. Now, this is now beam 8 right now. So I copy this again right now. Since I'm done with my horizontal beam naming, I now begin with my vertical beam naming. So I copy this right now outside this place and call this beam 9. But this time, I'll have to change the rotation to vertical because I want to start naming my vertical beams. So I'll change the rotation arrow and click and just on my O snap F8 and then click again of the F8 to now copy this, move this right now to this place and paste it just here. So this is my beam 9. So I'll copy this right now to begin to number my vertical beams. So I paste this here. This will now be beam 10, which I will change later. This is beam 10, and this is beam. This will now be beam 11. This is beam 11, and this is beam 12, and this is beam 13, and this is beam 14. And if you look again, all this is next beam we have, this is beam 15, and this is beam, I'll put the name in here, 16. So I've now begin my numbering right now. So this is beam 9 because we stopped at beam 8 on the horizontal. So we continue for beam 9 for vertical and then change this to now be beam type 10, beam 10. And then this is now beam 11. And then I name this 11 and I name this 12. I name this 12, 12. And if it looks like maybe these two beams they're about to clash, I'll just move this downward and just move this downward and then move this down a bit because it's already clashing with this column. I'll move this down a bit. Okay, so this is beam 12, and then again I have here beam 13. And I have here beam 13. And then I have here also as this is now will be beam 14. This is now beam 14. Okay, and this is beam 15. Just pay attention, you see the beauty of this new beam. This is beam 15, and then this is now beam 16. Okay, this is beam 16. Okay, so right now we in total we have 16 beams. We have reduced all this high numbering of beam 82 to all just to have 16 number of beams. So right now we will now begin to locate this beam numbering on these beam details. So right now the first beam we have here, which is beam 1 and which starts from beam 47, 1B47 to 1B51. So we copy this beam 1 and locate this, find this 1B47 to 1B51 on this beam detail. So if I check here right now, this is beam 1. So I begin to find that 1B47. So there to be here, this is 1B47. So 1B47 to 1B51, you can see it here, which we have here, which we have changed the naming to beam 1. You can see here. So 1B47 to 1B51 is now called beam 1. So we go right here inside this place right now, paste this here, but this time we have to match properties. To match this property to this right now, and then double click on this, and then underline using Ctrl U. So we now have this. So with this now, I'll just delete these ones right now. So we have successfully numbered this beam right now as beam 1. So this now becomes our beam 1 detail. You can see it right now. So first thing I'll do right now, and also we also remove this because we have now numbered this beam perfectly. So we remove this beam detail, this beam name, and leaving just this one because this now overrides all other ones, all other beam names that is on this beam. So we now remove this and now delete. So you can see the beauty. If someone reads your drawing right now, you can see that this beam 1 is simply saying that all throughout this beam is beam 1. So the person goes to your detail right now and locate for beam 1, which you just see here, and this is beam 1. Let me just move this upward a bit. Okay, so right now, the first thing right now I'll do is to separate this one right now from these other ones because we have not find the naming of this one. So just move this right now from this place where it is. But before then, right now, I'll just keep it here for a bit. Then I'll make it an A3 paper size, which I'll use rectangle and then click on enter. And then I'll now click on this and then put in my A3 paper size, which is 420. I'll use the word comma. I will just say comma 297 and I'll press enter. So this is the paper size right now, which I will now have to maximize using scale and using scale by using I'm using scale 50. So I'll just say 50. Then right now you can see my paper size here just now. So I'll now copy this to this place and then paste in this B1 just here and leave it first for a moment. So I'll leave this beam 1 inside here. Okay, let me just maximize this. I'll say times 2 to make it scale 1 is to 100. And then I'll just move this right now and put it in this place. So this is now my first beam on my sheet, which later we will transfer this beam inside this template. We will transfer it inside this template, and this is where we are going to print from. So we go back to model view right now. So we have successfully named our first beam as beam 1. Let me move it upward again and keep it here. Okay, so right now again, we move again to find the beam 2. I'll be a quick fast so that we will save more time. So this beam 1 beam 1, you can see it right here. So 1 beam 5 is called beam 2. So I'll quickly copy this right now and locate 1 beam, which is this 1 beam 1 to 1 beam 5. So this is now called beam 2. So I'll do again, just match properties, click on this and click on this, then double click on this to now control U, double click on this and take Control U to underline it. So I now remove this and remove all other this being numbering that is not our own numbering and remove this. And then I'll move this right now, copy the beam and both the beam and section. Be careful that you will not copy any other ones here. So just copy only that beam and each section and the text here, move it. Don't copy, just always move. So you know that one is off and paste it here. Now, if you can see right here, we have unnecessary dimension here, which came from Prota. So just take this off and take this off and erase it. And also on this end too, you take this off and take this off and erase it. Okay, so right now we have now gotten bin 1 and bin 2. Let me just position this very well and keep it somewhere here. Okay, I'll be a bit fast just now, so we will bit more time to do other ones. So right now we have bin 1 and bin 2. And also on this place right now, we will also go here and remove this bin numbering because we have already gotten our master bin numbering as bin 2. So I remove all other ones, which is on this bin 2 line. I remove this right now and click on erase. Okay, so right now you can see right now what we have just gotten right now. Okay, if this is trying to clash, you just close this a bit and then keep it this way. Okay, so right now we will now go for bin 3. Bin 3 now starts from 78 to 70. Now you can see that this beam size is 300. So I'll quickly change this just now That's why I say you should also always check. I'll change this one out to 300. You can see this beam size 300. So this beam depth is 300. I'll change to 300, and then I'll locate beam 78 to beam 7, beam 81. Okay, so I'll copy this right now to begin to find beam 78 to beam 481. So I'll begin to find it here on the section here. So let me just locate it here. Beam 78 will be found somewhere here, 78 to 81. 78, 81. It doesn't take much time to find. 78, 81. 78, 81. Okay, okay, okay. Let me see. That will be found 78, 81. 78, 81. Okay, this is just to okay, this is it now. So this is the beam right now, 78 to 81. So right now I'll just paste this here, remove all that one, all these ones are under it right now, just not to be confused, and then delete this dimension which is here, and also unnecessary one which is here, and then remove also on this one also, this is not good, remove this also, and then I'll just match properties right now from this to this, and click on this to underline it, Control U, and then move this right now, which we have just located, to the place where we are keeping them, which we will soon transfer it to this sheet here. So just paste it right here inside here. So we now have our bin tree already given here, which have different depth of 300, and you can also see the section here also as 300, while other ones here is 450, which is also number here 452. Okay, so right now we go again right now to remove from this bin tree, we remove this, we remove this because we have already gotten this. We remove this. We now have a master beam naming as beam tree for this beam. So we now remove all this one that came with Prota. So we now have beam 1, beam 2, and beam 3. Very neat and easy to understand. So we go again right now. For this one right now, this is beam 4, which is 450, which is okay. Starting from beam 26 to one beam 27. So we have to go and locate the beam and call it beam 4. Okay, so knowing that this is beam 4 right now, I'll just go and find 26 to 27. So I'll just go right now, locate beam 26 to 27, which will be gotten from this side. 26 to 27, 26, 27, which is okay here. Okay, this is it. So this has been 26 to 27, which also, if you confirm it back to being 4, which we are going to do right now, it is from being 26 to being 27 is what is being 4. So right now we go and copy that being right now, being 26, which starts from this point, to this section to 27, which you have here, you can see there. So you just move it, don't copy, you move it down to this point, and then remove this naming because this is now being 4. So remove all this beam naming, knowing that it is 450, as you can see there, for 450 beam. We remove this right now and remove this unnecessary dimension which is given to us here and also here. We just remove this right now, delete this, okay, then copy this right, no, copy the one of 450, go and change this to being 4. Like I said, I'll be a bit fast, so I just change this to being 4, knowing that my bin depth for this is 450 by 225. You can see it here. So we also have it here, 450 by 225. You can see it here, where this one is the slab thickness, and this is the overall bin depth, and this is the bin thickness. Okay, so you can see also the beam detailing. Okay, so right, this is beam 4. I will now go to locate beam 5 right now. So I go right now to locate. I will now go first here and remove this beam 4 naming because we now have a master beam naming as beam 4. So remove all that ones here. Remove this and remove this and remove this. We delete this. Okay, so right now we go again right now for beam 5. On this beam 5 is 300 depth, as you can see it here. So we change it right now to 300. That's why I say you must check this very well, and that is why you need this template to guide you. Okay, so we now go right now. The beam 5 starts from beam 85 to beam 87. So locate beam 85, one beam 85 to one beam 87 and call it beam 5. So just copy this beam 5 to locate that and paste it directly under that beam section. So beam 85 should be here. It's around should be around here. 85 to beam 87, 85 to 87. Okay, this is it. Beam 85 to beam 87 and then 300 also. So click on this, match properties MA to this, and then remove this immediately so don't get confused, and then click on this to underline it, Control U, and then now click on this to remove all unnecessary things that we don't need, which we don't need all this naming that come with the beam because we don't have a master name, which is now beam 5. So just erase this and then remove also this unnecessary dimension that came with this beam section, this beam detail. Okay, so this is now what to have. So just click on this right now to put it at a central point and then move this. I'll just highlight this right now and move this particular beam that we have located and change the name to this place. Now this place right now has filled up, so I'll just copy just this size of paper A3 and then paste this place to begin the new sheet. So this is now bin 1 of the bin detail and this is called bin 2, which we will name them here perfectly here. So just click on this place right now to locate beam 6. Okay, we still have a long way to go. So wait for hours. Now go and remove this beam 5 beam naming that came with the Prota. I will remove this and just leave my master beam naming here. So I'll erase this right now and leave this. Okay, so we now go to beam 6. As you can see it here. So beam 6 right now start from beam 12 to beam 8, which is called beam 6, and the size is okay 225 by 450. So I'll just quickly locate beam 6 and beam 8. So I'll go right now to locate, this is beam 12 and this is beam 8. So let me confirm if it's true. Beam 6 is starting from beam 8 to beam 12, sorry, to beam 8. To beam 8. Okay, so this is, I'll just copy this right now. Go all the way down here. This is beam 12 and beam 6, beam 8, which is now called beam 6. So I'll just match properties and then click on this to remove this one that came with Prota Structure. Just have double click, just click on this, remove this and remove this and leave only this master beam naming, and then do Control U, and then I will now remove this unnecessary dimension that came with Prota Structure, which is not right, and okay, and then I'll click on delete. Okay, so I now must copy this, move this out from this place to this place where I'm keeping it right now and keep it here. Okay, so let me just arrange this inside this place right now. Okay, so this is now okay. So I'm on bin 6 and we go and find bin 7, but first we now remove all this portal beam detail that came with beam 6. You can see it here. So remove all this one now and leaving our master beam name in there. So remove this right now and say okay, delete. Now we're on beam 7 right now. On this beam 7 right now, beam 7 start from 35 to 40. So from beam 35 to 40 is beam 7. So I'll just I've already marked this as beam 7, which is from 35 to beam 40 is beam 7. So just carry out on your head right now and then locate beam 35 to beam 40. So that will be found here. This is it. Beam 35 to beam 40 is beam 7. So I'll just move this from this place where it is right now. I'll just move this right now. Move this out of this place and place it here. And remove this beam naming because this is not the beam naming we want to use. We want to use the master beam naming, which is beam 7. So remove this right now and remove this unnecessary dimension that came with the beam detail, and then also this, remove, delete, and this is beam 450 by 225. So I'll just copy this right now, knowing that this is now beam 7. So I'll copy and paste it here and change this right now to beam 7. Okay, this is now beam 7. So I go to finish our horizontal beam. So first of all, we go to delete and delete this one that came with Prota Structure. So just delete this one because since we already have our master beam naming has been 7, so remove all the ones that is here and then say erase and leaving this. So right now again, we have our last horizontal beam right now as, let me just do this. Okay, as beam 8. So beam 8 is from beam 33 to beam 52. So right now I locate that beam and then call it beam 8, which is this beam. Sorry, which is this beam 33 to 52. Okay, this is the beam here. So this is beam 8. I'll just move it out of this place and then copy and paste it here. Remove unnecessary ones that came with this place with the beam, and also remove this naming because I know that this is called beam 8 with my master beam naming. So I'll remove this. Sorry, just did something error. So I remove this first. Okay, I remove this, and remove this, and then copy this to this place, and then call this beam 8. Okay, beam 8, as you can see it rather than here. Okay, so we can now remove this unnecessary one that came with Prota Structure and just delete it. So we are done with our horizontal beams, as you can see right now. Now let's go on to our vertical beam. So we are beginning from beam 9 now, and beam 9 is a beam our beams that start from 84, beam 86 to um beam 41. So beam 86 to 41 is beam 9, and the depth of that beam is 450. Okay, so let's locate beam 86 to beam 41 and name it beam 9. Okay, so let's go right now and locate beam 86. Beam 86, that should be this one. Yeah, so copy, just move this beam, not copy, always move this beam right now to this region right now, and remove unnecessary thing that came with Prota, that came with this beam detail, and remove this, remove this, also remove this, and then remove this, and also this. Okay, then we now call this is now beam 9. So just copy this right now, knowing that they have the same depth as 450, and paste it beam 9. Okay, now if you look at the section right now, you can see that there are two sections, one of 450 and one of 200. So what we now do right now is to locate that change. Okay, this is where the change is. Here is 300 and this is 450. So just paste this right here and call it beam 9 of 450 depth, and copy this again and paste it here, beam 9 of 300 depth. So when someone sees this right now, they will know that this to this, where there is change, is B9 of 300, and from here to here is B9 of 450. Okay, so again, we go right now to name our bin. So now we first of all remove these ones that are not okay here. So we remove these and remove these and remove this. By now, you must have understand what I'm doing because we have done a lot of these. So you just repeat the same process. I would have ended this video to just say that I should repeat the same process, but as I told you, this will be a practical based structural detailing. So this is now beam 9. So I go to now to perform beam 10, and beam 10 start from beam 36 to beam 42, and it is also 450 beam. So just this is beam 10. So now go and locate beam 36 and call it beam 10. So beam 36, right, this is it right now. So just move this right now. We move this right now to this place, and remove this beam naming that came with Prota Structure, remove this unnecessary one, dimension that came with it also, remove this, and then name this our master beam as beam 10. So copy this one right now and replace it as beam 10. Okay, has been 10. Okay, so right now this template is already filled up. So just copy again this template, copy it right now and put it here below and expand this right now. Let us expand this a bit, expand this. Okay, so right now this is now sheet 1, sheet 2, and this will be sheet 3. Okay, for the beam detail. Okay, so right now we go again right now to locate our beam, our beam. This, okay, this is not done. We are already, so we now remove this right because we have already numbered this beam. So we remove this beam detail that came with Prota Structure, and then remove this also and remove this also. Okay, so we now have just this beam as beam 10 right now. So this is also beam 11, which beam 11 is beam 34. So locate beam 34 and call it beam 11. So locate this right now 34, which is here, move this completely from this place to this place, to the new sheet, remove this that is not necessary, and then remove this also, copy the master font for our beam numbering, sorry, this, and call this is beam 11. So just go in and paste it here and call it beam 11, which is the same height, depth 450 and width 225, which we have here also, and call it beam 11. Okay, so put this beam 11 and then raise this upward a bit, move this upward a bit and paste it here. Okay, so right now we go to beam 12. We're almost done with this. So right now we have to now remove this numbering that came with Prota and leave only this. Now we go and name, this is beam 12 right now is what we have next, which is beam 53 and it's also 450. So we just go right now, this is it, 53, and then just remove this unnecessary thing that came with Prota and then remove this and copy this right now to then name it beam 12, which we have already identified. So we paste it here and copy this right now and call it beam 12. Change this to beam 12. Change this right now to beam 12. Okay. Okay, this is beam 12 right now. So right now we go again right now to now remove this beam right now, this one, and leaving this. So again, we go again right now for beam 13. So beam 13 right now starts from beam 31 to beam 43 is beam 13. As you can see it right here. So we go and locate beam 31 and call it beam 13. So this will be here. This is it right now. We're almost done. So just move this right now to these 10 plates and keep it here and remove unnecessary thing that we don't need. We don't need this dimension, and also we don't need this also. This will be found, we will show the dimension here at our bar bending schedule, not here. So we just remove this one that came. This is now beam 13. So we remove all this one that came with Prota Structure and replace it with our master single beam naming as beam 13, which have the same depth of 450 by 225 millimeter. So just click on this and change this to beam um, beam 13 and then leave it this way. Okay, so this is what I have right now. Okay, so again, we now go again right now to remove the unnecessary beam naming that came with Prota for beam 13, and we just remove this. Mind that I don't remove your beam lines, so just remove this also, and remove this also, and remove this also, remove this, sorry, remove this, and also remove this and remove this. So we are now left only this beam, as you can see it right now. So again, we go again right now this place to change to find beam 14. Beam 14 starts from beam 30 to beam 58 to beam, sorry, beam 44. So beam 30 to beam 44. So we go right now to locate beam 30 to 44, which is here. So this is now, we move this right now. This is now beam 14, as you can see there. Don't mistake, don't make that mistake to go and cut another beam section. So always take the one that is directly with it, as you can see it here. So we go right now to paste this here. This is our beam 14. Remove unnecessary thing that came with the Prota, that came with this structure, this structural beam detail from Prota Structure, and remove this beam naming so that we can name it our own master beam name. Okay, so we just copy this right now to change this. The size is also the same, 450. Always check that so that you don't make mistake to change the depth during your structural detailing. Why the design what was adequate was a higher depth, but you now use a smaller depth. So always okay, this has been 14. Always take that into consideration to always check the depth and the width so that you don't make that mistake. So this has been 14. So we now go right now on this place just here to remove all the beam details that came, the beam naming that came with Prota structure, which is not okay, and remove all that. As you can see it here, remove all that. Remove this also, and then remove this also, and then remove this also, and leaving just this one here. So we can just bring this down here if it's trying to bring this down a bit here, and then shift this so that they will not clash together and paste this. Okay, so right now um we now go to beam 15. Sorry, so beam 15 starts from beam 29 to beam 45. So let's go on and the size also 225 by 450. So let's go and find out on this beam detail, beam 29 and beam 45, and call it beam 15. Okay, so beam 29, which is here, so just copy, move this, not copy, move this entirely to our sheet, which we have here, and call it beam 15, which you can see there. So remove some unnecessary beam naming that came with it because we have already identified that. So we can now remove it, and then put this, we remove this also, and remove this also, and then just take this off. This is always double sometimes, and then copy this and change this beam naming, which we have already identified as being 15. So we just go here right now and put this place as being 15, and then we now go to the layout and remove unnecessary one that came with this layout, which is this, because we have already changed the name to a master name has been 15. So we just remove this right now, and then also remove this right now, and then also remove this right now, and we will remove this also, and this also, and then erase, remove it. And then we now have a master, a single one just here. And then also we now have this just now. You can see that we now have this just now. So the last one we have right now is beam 16. So we locate it, which is beam 28 to beam 46. So this is the only beam left, which is beam 28 to beam 46. So you can see that we did not miss any beam. Most times, if you don't pay much attention, you can miss a beam. At the end of everything, when you think that this is your last beam, you will still see some beam here being left. So if you're catching sleepy, just drop down your mouse and off your system and go and sleep. When you get yourself, you begin. So let's just change this right now. So we just go back, because it will be a mistake and a very expensive one if you if the design was okay, but your detailing now is now wrong. It will make that building to collapse. So make sure you do a proper detailing. So remove this necessary one that came with it, and then copy this right now, and then paste this and call this name, paste it here and call it, this is 16. Okay, so we have come to the end of this one right now, and then we now look come to this place right now. This is where we are, and locate and remove all these beam names that came with the Prota structure, which are not necessary. And because we have already have our master beam, which is beam 16, so remove all this right now, and then remove this also, and remove this also right now. Okay, so we don't need this, so just remove this. We don't need it. Just remove it entirely. Okay, so right now this is what we have just got. You can see that this is now your perfect layout. You can see this is your layout, which is showing now that from here to here is your bin one, and on where you can find this bin one right now. If you want to see this bin one section beam detail and each section, you can go to the sheet and you can find it here bin one, and you can see the reinforcement detail for the bin one and also the section of this one which was cut from here. If you cut this section, this is what you're going to see. You can see that. And if you also find bin 2 from the, let us move this down here to this, just put that to this place so that we'll be able to see it faster. So if you check this also bin 2, you can see this bin 2, which it is also here as bin 2. You can see that. So this is bin 3. You can see that this is all this place is called bin 3. All this line is called bin 3. And this is also the bin 2 detail. So you can see how beautiful it is right now. You can see the difference. And this is also showing that this place contains a slab which has a beam surrounded by it. You can see that this is a panel, a panel, a panel. And the slab here is 150-meter depth, which you also put your depth of slab here. If your slab depth is 175, you just change it to 175 right here, but else leave it the same way it is. Okay, so right now this is what we have just achieved. Next thing right now to do right now is to dimension this grid line, this layout right now. So that then also we have to now change the name of this place right now because this is beam and column layout for first floor. So we go right now on our sample. That is why you need this template so that it will guide you. So you go right now and copy this right now, copy this immediately and go to where you have your this right now, paste it, and then change this right now to um, first floor, first floor, just put here and say first floor, beam and column layout. So you just remove these ones that was here already. You can say first, skip again. You can say first floor beam and column layout, but the proper name to name it is first floor beam and column layout because on this place you already seeing your slab that this first floor beam and column layout has a slab. You can see it here, so there's no need to put slab here. Else, most people name it first floor slab beam and column layout. It is still okay. Okay, we can also do that too. So to name it first floor, then first floor we put here slab, comma, beam and column layout. This is still okay. So we can now go like this right now, do this and then remove this immediately because we have changed the name to a master name. So we can now do this right now and paste this. So with this right now, we can now change this color back to white. So just click on this, right click and say similar and then CH, which is property, and then change the color which we have here's the color we have here. Click on this, change this to back to white, to back to layer, then match properties, and then match it to change that. But maybe I would say you can leave it so that you don't miss it. Okay, just leave it, just do undo and leave it. It is still okay. It will still print fine, so that you can now differentiate it between this slab and this beam and the beam naming. Okay, so right now we have come to the end of this section. So in the next video, we will be performing how to dimension this with this layout and then putting this layout in sheets into these templates. So that will be my next video. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next video, and also turn on your notification button so that you will be notified anytime I upload a video. Okay, so thank you and then wait for the next.